Welcome to Thailand.
The plan was simple. I was going to be wearing this special suit that would conceal the drugs that I was carrying. Easy as anything. It was exciting. International travel, lots of money. This was more like being James Bond than it was about being a drug dealer. I'd do what I had to do. I'd come home and I'd get my money. That was it. Unfortunately, that's not how it worked out. How am I ever going to survive this? In 1993, I was 26 years old.
You that, Stephen? Love music, right?
I've been selling cars since I was 16.
Real leather, all right? More comfortable than your sofa.
I used to be very, very good at selling motor cars.
Does your wife know that you're here talking to me about this right now?
No.
Does your mistress?
When you've closed a sale, you are on fire.
Have a look inside. Can you see yourself in there?
I love that. I love doing that. I was earning good money and should have been a happy person. I'd met a beautiful woman. Her name was Linda, and she was absolutely stunning.
I've got no guarantee.
We'd only been going out for about 3 months. I'd asked her to marry me. I was ready for a new start. And she wanted to open a cafe.
You know the coffee shop you always wanted? Let's do it.
I've always been impatient, always wanting to get ahead. And it was never my nature to be content with where I was at. I needed to get married, set my wife up in a cafe, and have the capital to start something else for myself. So essentially at that point, I needed a very large cash injection. As it would happen, I did know somebody who was in an industry that could probably facilitate that cash injection. I had a mate, and we'll call him Fredy.
So what do you think then, Fredy? Huh?
Oh, yeah, not bad.
I'd sold him flamboyant cars, high-performance cars. I'd known him for a long time. I'd always admired the lifestyle that he had. The thing is, Fredy was a drug dealer. But he wasn't a bad guy. He was my friend. So I said to him, Fredy, it's like this.
I need to earn a lot of money fast. And you can help me with that, right?
Listen, Marty, you've got a good life, you've got a good job, and you don't need this.
If I'd have taken Fredy's advice, my life would have been a bit different. But I didn't want to wait. I didn't want to take the proper route. I didn't want to abide by society's rules. I wanted to break them. I wanted to thumb my nose at society and take what I wanted.
I'm going to do this, whether or not I do it with you.
So he said, OK. You want to try it that badly? I'll give you a shot.
Would you fly to Thailand, pick up some heroin, carry it on the plane back to Australia for me?
You'd be surprised how little this actually meant to me. No one in my world took heroin. It meant nothing to me.
Well, what's in it for me?
200 grand.
For me, it was a no-brainer. I didn't think about my family. I didn't even think about my fiancée.
I'm in.
The consequences never entered my head.
Welcome to Thailand. Cheers, mate.
I'd travelled a little bit, but nothing like this, nothing like Thailand. And I realised that this was a very different place.
Hello? Hey, Freddie.
Freddie didn't want me walking around a lot. I was instructed to watch television for 3 days. It was a nice room and it was boring. That's where I sat. The plan was simple. Freddie was coming to put the drugs on me. We'd discussed having one special suit that would be made a couple of sizes bigger so that it would better conceal the drugs that I was carrying. I'd come back home and then just go to a car park and put them in a boot of a car. Simple as that. Easy as anything. That's not how it worked out. Finally, there's a knock at the door, and there's Freddie standing there.
Hey, Freddie.
Yeah, okay.
The guy that walked through the door was all business. Freddie just upends the bag on the bed. All sorts of packing material. Freddie started to pull the blocks of heroin out of the bag. And I thought, well, that's surely it now. That'll be it. That's all there is. And he reached in and pulled out another 3. There was even one more after that. 13 blocks. It just looked like so much.
Right.
Freddie, you've got to be joking. It's not going to fit.
And I'll never forget this for as long as I live. He looked me straight in the eye and he said,
Listen, mate, whatever doesn't fit, better damn well hope it fits.
it's very disappointing to look in the eyes of somebody that you've thought of as a friend and realise that you're looking into the eyes of a white-pointed shark. Utterly, utterly cold. He went to work on me, placing blocks against me, and then the next block, and the next block, and the next block. And he was pulling on those bandages hard, and it was incredibly uncomfortable. We got 12 blocks mounted and strapped down. We cut the last block in half, and the 2 little blocks went either side of my crutch, down near my genitals. I'm standing there in my underwear, strapped up with heroin, and I can't breathe. I couldn't even put my own pants on by myself. I said, what if I need to go to the toilet? He said, don't. And for the first time, I'm not feeling confident inside. But once that suit went on, I was astonished. I just look like a fat guy. You can't see all of the drugs I'm carrying. The suit was well made. It did its job. The heroin's disappeared. I couldn't feel any edges. And I thought for a moment, you know, maybe I can do this. Maybe I will make it. But as I sit in the back of the cab, I realised the last 2 half blocks were so tight that they were cutting off the circulation to my legs. The flight from Bangkok to Sydney is 7.5 hours. And I'm not even 10 minutes into a cab ride, and my legs are going to sleep. This was going to be a serious problem. By the time I got to the airport, I couldn't stand up. My legs hurt too much. Couldn't breathe. It's hot. The edges of the blocks are starting to cut into my skin. None of this was doing anything to help my confidence at this point. As I lifted the bag to put it onto the scale, I felt something tear, not in the wrapping paper, but inside me, like I'd torn a muscle or something. And the pain, I thought I was going to pass out. But I'm not allowed to react, not now, not here. I was a mess. I was so late at this point that pretty much everybody else was in the waiting area to board the plane. I'm heading towards the gate, and it's at this gate where they have the metal detector. This is the last test. The guards, they didn't have anything else to focus on. They just watched me walk all the way down. I had to walk with a perfect gait. There wasn't allowed to be a limp. There wasn't allowed to be any change. I'm thinking, there's nothing to see. I can do this. There's nothing to see. So I got there and I started to take my watch off and take my keys out of my pocket, and I dropped them into the little basket. I knew that this was it. This was the point of no return. And just as I started to walk through the metal detector, the guard takes out the handheld metal detector and he moves it up the front of my jacket. Then he moves it up the back of my jacket. I realised I'd left my glasses on.
I forgot my glasses.
At the time, as a 26-year-old, I didn't even need glasses. They were a fashion accessory to make me look more serious. No problem, no more beeps, no more alarms. I'd made it. I was through. And then I make the mistake. I turned to the guard and I smiled at him. I didn't know then that Thai people are very tactile. If you smile at them, they want to reach out and touch you. They want to be your friend. And the guard reached up and he said, "You go to your plane." I didn't even feel him touch me because he wasn't. He was touching a block of heroin. That was it. Life was over.